Alright, so welcome to MLB Simulated. As you can see here, I have MLB.com pulled up for the schedule for tomorrow. It is currently the evening of April 5th of 2023. So, basically my main idea with this is using MLBGameSim.com for the entire season and every day be able to use their most updated, like simulations and go through every game and simulate. So, I would track the standings, see who wins each game, and put it into a win-loss column for each team, and then see if by the time we get to October into the postseason, how much different the standings look compared to the real life Major League Baseball standings, and how different these seedings of the playoffs would be compared to real life Major League Baseball. So I know I am about a week late to this to start, but I actually did start doing this on opening night, and I was tracking it. So that was something that, like, the introduction to this video and like what I'm doing here for MLB Simulated, and then I will be going in and in this video I also be just going off of my phone and what I have been collecting for that there. So over on this Google slide, you'll see MLB standings 2023 season. And to start, as of right now, I had a record for the Baltimore Orioles of 3-3. So this is how this is going to work. As you can see there, 3-3. So with the Orioles, obviously 3-3, 3 wins, 3 losses. But like, I'm gonna be honest, I cannot remember what their current record is. I just, and yeah, that's gonna be the difference there. I will have teams that maybe, for example, you'll see it later on. Maybe they'll be like record here of like 1-4 or something, and then they're really like 3-2 or something in the MLB, and it'll just be different. And we'll see how much different by the end of the season we are. I know I already said that. I'm just stating that again because I am really excited to see like what will the standings be like. What will the playoffs be? That's another thing. I will be, collecting and putting that into a correct like playoff format that the MLB uses, and then I'll be simulating those games as well and just seeing what we get, and from there, we'll see if we get the same champion as real life Major League Baseball and just see how different our playoffs are. And last thing I need to say before I continue with this is obviously going to be my first YouTube video. So, I mean, quality of video might be like not up to par. Please just bear with me. I know the microphone might be like interesting, but yeah, I'm just wanted to try this, wanted to get into it as soon as I possibly could when I came up with the idea. So, this is what I'm going to use. But anyways, so the Boston Red Sox, as of right now, I had a record of 4-2 for this team. So as you can see there, they'd be a little better than the Orioles. The Yankees are with the Orioles at 3-3, while the Tampa Bay Rays have a record of 4-2 at the moment. And in the next video, I'll hopefully go in and get the next games and just update that for you into the standings for tomorrow, April 6th. So Toronto Blue Jays record of 4-2. All right, so that would be our AL East, as you can see here. There you go. Obviously, you can see the Orioles and Yankees just one game behind the Red Sox, Rays, and Blue Jays as of right now. But the division looking pretty close through the first 6 games, so that's pretty exciting. Moving on to the AL Central. So with the White Sox, this is going to surprise some people. I have them with a really bad start. 1-5, as you can see there, and that is just yikes, as you can tell. But I actually do remember this. I believe it was the second or third game they played. I know it was a road game to the Houston Astros. I remember that being their one win because ever since I know they struggled against the Astros, and then they've also struggled in their current matchup. I believe the San Francisco Giants. So yes. Also, I mean, if I'm talking too fast, maybe it's because I'm nervous. Maybe I'm just kind of like really excited and get into it. My apologies. I'll make sure I'm trying to keep it up so you guys can understand me and make sure I'm doing pretty well. So moving on to the Cleveland Guardians, they have played 7 games, and they have a record of 3-4. So losing record, but I mean, as of right now, that's not too shabby. The Detroit Tigers are down there at 2-4, so they'd be a half game behind Cleveland. And then the Kansas City Royals are sitting at 3-3. while the Twins are also sitting at 3-3. There's a difference right there. I can tell you the Royals right now are not 3-3. I believe they're 1-5. They might be 2-4, but you can correct me on that. I just know that they are definitely not 3-3. So, yes, moving on to the AL West, and this one is gonna surprise some people. So, first team up, the defending champion Houston Astros. In this one, I'm gonna be honest, 7-0. That is what it has simulated for me so far. The only undefeated team I'm gonna have, spoiler alert, and it is going to be the defending champions. So the simulating program must just love the Astros as of right now. You know, they swept the White Sox in 4 games, and then I'm pretty sure they're playing. Cannot honestly remember, to be honest with you. I think no, the Tigers. It is the Tigers that they're playing right now that they just swept as well. And then the Los Angeles Dodgers would be next. They're doing okay. Not exactly where I thought they would be, but they are sitting at 2-4. There we go. While the Oakland Athletics are surprising me a little bit with a record of, as you're about to see, 4-2. 2 games ahead of the Angels, slightly behind the Astros. The Mariners are doing all right. They have a record of 4-3. So, of course, with everything happening last year, you know, getting to the playoffs for the first time in 21 years and then getting swept by the Astros in the AL wildcard. But, yeah, and then, or sorry, the AL, yes. And then the Texas Rangers are at 4-2. So, analyzing this division real quick, obviously Astros out of this world, Space City. But the Angels are struggling, and everybody else is having 4 wins, and they're about in that 4-2, 4-3 range. So not too terrible right now, and obviously we'll get more separation as the season goes on. Moving on to the National League, into the NL East, starting with the Atlanta Braves. Really good team last year. We'll see how they do this year. Right now, they're at .500 with a record of 3-3. The Miami Marlins doing decent so far. They have a record of 4-3. Second time I did that. And then the Mets are struggling. This was a team that was really good last year. We're just a couple of games behind the Braves for the division, and they are currently 2-5. But moving on to the Philadelphia Phillies, they are doing decent so far. Not too terrible, not too good. 3-3, obviously .500 record, right in the middle of the road. And the Nationals, they're just from what I remember over like the last week of doing the simulations every day, they started out 2-1 in their first series, and then they got swept in their last series for 3 straight losses to get them that 2-4 record. Quick analyzation of this division: obviously the Mets are struggling after a good year last year, and the Braves and Phillies, the 2 teams that did really well last year, sitting at 3-3, while the Marlins by half a game are at 4-3 and leading the division. Moving on to the NL Central, starting with the Chicago Cubs, one of the most historic franchises in the league. They have a record of 4-2 right now, and the Cincinnati Reds have a record of 3-3 right now, so they're doing okay. While the Milwaukee Brewers have a record of 4-2, same as the Cubs. So they're also doing pretty good. Now here's where we're going to have 2 teams that might surprise you just by how interesting the record is. The Pittsburgh Pirates are 1-5, while the St. Louis Cardinals 1-5. And I mean, if you're like a Cardinals fan, Pirates fan, or like Mets fan, things like that, currently don't have bad records. Obviously, you'll see. I'm not out to get you. I obviously am like not trying to program this against the Cardinals or the Pirates or Mets or something. But it's just happening to be that way for right now, and hopefully these teams might rebound a little bit and surprise us. So you never know. Moving on to the NL West, our last division. So the Arizona Diamondbacks right now, they're not doing too shabby either. 3-3 record, while the Colorado Rockies are at 2-4. So they could be a little bit better, but you never know. But the Los Angeles Dodgers are also struggling to start the season with a record of 2-4. The San Diego Padres, they're doing pretty hot. Probably, I think, have the best record in the NL at 5-1. And the San Francisco Giants, I only have 5 games for them so far, but 2-3 for that. So a quick analyzation of this division. Rockies and Dodgers are struggling, while the Padres are doing pretty good, and the Diamondbacks and Giants are just kind of there settling into the season. I think right now the best team in the National League would be the 5-1 Padres. Well, obviously the best team in the American League would be the 7-0 Houston Astros. So there's that. Those are your standings that I have for right now. I promise I didn't just make that up. I have actually been simulating those to start the season. And then, as you can see here, this is what I'd be using. So all these are locked as of right now because these games already happened, of course. But basically, what this would look like come the next video is it'll have these simulate right here, and I'll just go through each one and simulate those. And so, yeah, there we go. I hope you enjoy this, and I cannot wait to get more into MLB Simulated. See you in the next one.